Good morning and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday podcast with your host, Dr. Mary Seegers. Today is October the 15th, 2025, and we're going to be talking about a very important subject matter this month, domestic violence, because it is the month that they're Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And my guest will be joining shortly, but I want to share with you some important statistics that I did during my research about domestic violence. It is a real thing, right? I remember years ago it was taboo. You don't talk about it. What happens in this house stays in this house. And so we never had a chance to reach out to those that were injured by domestic violence, right? So let me just share with you quickly before I introduce my guest. But you even know the drill. Grab your coffee, or perhaps you want orange juice and water. I'm enjoying my coffee that my husband brewed fresh for me this morning. That's so good. And join in on the conversation. It's a serious thing when you talk about domestic violence. It really is. And my guest today is a lady that experienced that, but she is victorious now. I tell you, I love this woman. And when I first met her, I just loved her spirit. I just love the way she gives of herself. And so I want to welcome officially my guest. Hi, Deborah. How are you this morning?
I am well. Well, I am well. Sorry about
No, that is right on time. I was going to share with the audience a little bit statistics about domestic violence since this is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So bear with me as I share my screen real quick just to share. Doing my research, I was a little alarmed about some of the numbers, and it could be dated too. But they said one in three women have experienced physical, emotional, and mental abuse from their partner. And this was kind of shocked me. One in four men, men can also have the domestic violence. And I read further on that nearly 1,300 deaths are a result of domestic violence. Even locally, I just heard of some incident where a man took his wife out or girlfriend out and then took himself out. I mean, it's just so prevalent in our community now. Would you not agree, Deborah?
Yes. Oh my God. The numbers are astounding and it's getting worse.
Yes, yes. So let me share with the audience a little bit about my guest because she's got a wealth of wisdom and insight and information about this very subject. Deborah Crowley, she says she's a visionary entrepreneur, but I put a global visionary entrepreneur. She's reaching people outside the walls. She's reaching people across the pond. She's reaching people globally. And I have to say that is so true, right? So you
Yes.
are a global visionary entrepreneur. She's an author, an advocate dedicated to empowering both women and seniors through purpose-driven leadership. As the founder and CEO of Exclusive Elderly Resource Center, she provides life-enhancing resources and compassionate support to seniors and their families, helping them live with dignity, independence, and security. That just touched my heart. It really does. A domestic violence survivor turned business leader. Deborah built and sold $1 million cleaning company and now channels her experience into inspiring others through her empowerment brand. Keep it moving, a movement and apparel line designed to encourage resilience, faith, and perseverance. She is also the author of the Startup Spark, a practical and motivational resource for aspiring entrepreneurs seeking to build service based businesses with integrity and success. Honored by the United Nations for her global advocacy, Deborah continues to use her voice to uplift, educate, and equip others to rise above adversity and create lasting legacy of their own. That's why I love this lady. And she has some other accolades we'll talk about. She's also the Ladies of Justice Ambassador Director, helping women have access to the justice system. So I'm just so excited. I can go on and on, I tell you. But Deborah, when you think about, about what God has allowed you to accomplish in your life at this point, let's go back some 20 years ago. I mean, did you see that vision or did you always have that energy, that love, that compassion like you have now?
Wow, my journey didn't begin with an applause, right? It began with survival. Back in the day, there were a lot of things going on in my life, and truly now I'm starting to tell my story because
Mhm.
someone told me that my story is no longer my story once it happens, right?
Yeah.
So I'm purpose driven. So back in the day, yes, I did think that I was going to be a business owner, but I didn't think that I was going to go through the trauma that I went through with domestic violence. Didn't know that because you don't know that, right? You don't know what to expect.
Mm-mm.
But I embraced those opportunities because if I had not gone through that, I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's true. That's true. I tell you. And you know, I was saying earlier before you came on, we didn't used to talk about domestic violence in the sense now. What goes on in this house stays in this house, you know. And I can remember when I was a young girl, you know, when neighbors knew one another and we
Mhm.
borrowed sugar from our neighbor, right? And my mother, I remember she ran out of sugar. She was making a cake. She said, run next door to Pat's house and see if we can get a cup of sugar. And I knocked on the door and the lady came. She was fair complexion like yourself, and she had that black eye on her face. And I'm, you know, as a kid, as a 9-year-old kid, you're looking, what happened to you, you know? And I said, I'm sorry to bother you, Miss Pat, but my mother wanted to borrow some sugar. She said, oh, baby, come on in. I mean, she acted like nothing happened, you know. And so I got the sugar and I ran home. I said, Mom, Miss Pat gave us the sugar, but something on her eye was all black and blue up under here. And she said, don't worry, let's pray for her. So they didn't talk about it. They didn't, you know, so it was a different environment back then. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, absolutely. Back in the day, you don't talk about stuff like that because it's embarrassing to some people, right? It's embarrassing to your family members. It's embarrassing to friends to talk about that because they're trying to figure out how could you let something like that happen to you,
Yes, yes.
right?
Right, right. And it's usually not the victim's fault, it's the person who's, you know, doing the abuse, you know, but they need help as well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
know. So share you mind sharing a little bit? How did you finally break out of that? Because they said a lot of people don't, you know, break out of that, you know, out of that environment where it was violence for you, you know.
Um,
Every
it's a hard thing to do. A lot of people don't understand that when you're not self-developed mentally, not that you don't know what's going on, because I worked in corporate America, right?
yeah.
Worked at McDonald's Corporation during that time. So, and I had an awesome job.
Hmm.
Um, it was a hard decision to make because you have family members. Sometimes you just don't have anywhere to go. I thought in my head that I didn't have anywhere to go, but I have a lot of family. But in my mind, because you're mentally, you're just not there because you're still trying to figure out
Hmm.
why is this happening to me, right? Why is God allowing this to happen to me?
Yeah.
I got out. It was the last time, the last straw.
Hmm.
Um, the abuse went on one day, and got beat up really bad. Went to the hospital, and it's like everybody comes toward you, social workers, everybody, you name it, come towards you. People who not have not had that experience, so they don't know. So
Right.
they're questioning, wondering why, what happened, why did you allow this to happen? So the state trooper came into the hospital and he said to me, you're Miss Crowley. I'm like, yes, I remember him just as vivid as day. African American guy, and he had dark shades. And he said, do you have kids? I said, yes.
Mm.
He said, I just left. I just had an incident with a family member. The husband was an abuser. He killed the wife and killed two kids. And at that time, I had two kids.
Oh my Lord.
So he said to me, he said, I'm going to get him.
Hmm.
He said, you can press charges on me all you want, do whatever you need to do, but I'm going to get him.
Hmm.
And at that time, I made the decision it was time to go,
Hmm.
right? It was time to go. Still mentally not there, but I knew it was time for me to leave.
Yes, yes. For the sake of
So,
children and your for your own safety, you know. And
yes,
and when you left, you didn't look back. You just kept going, right?
kept it moving
Yeah.
because in that state of mind, you're in survival mode.
Mm.
right?
Yes.
You're like, how am I going to make it? What am I going to do? I have to feed my kids. I have to keep my mental sanity as well as working and continuing my job too as well. So it was devastating, but you something comes into you and that's God just playing that role in your mind like you'll be okay and I got you, right? I
Mm.
just needed you to go through that. And a lot of people say, how can you say that? That you had to go through that. Sometimes we have to go through trauma to get to where we need to be, right? You turn your purpose into, you turn your trauma into a purpose, right? Because then mentally, I said, okay, now I have to stop surviving,
Mm.
right? So
Yes.
now it's time for me to be successful.
Yes. Yes.
So that was the mental something there. God, like I said, was working on me
Yeah.
during that time.
Yeah. And like you said, sometimes when we go through something, it kind of it's like a wake up call too, sort of, like, okay, this is not the
Yeah,
life I have planned for myself, and God
yeah,
better for me, right?
yeah.
And because of that, look what you have done. I mean, your two sons are and your grandchildren, they're beautiful family you have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
business
it's a
woman. And
journey.
so share if you don't mind about the stepping out in faith doing your business and how, it's never too late to have those dreams come to fruition, because you're $1 million business you sold. I mean, look at God.
Yes, that was definitely God. Did not know that all this would happen. And like I said, I turned survival into success. I stopped being a victim,
Mm-hmm.
if you will.
Hmm.
Stop being a victim and make a decision that you have to make a change. You don't have to stay stuck in the trauma, right? You just keep it moving. And that's why I came up with that line of keep it moving because that's what I was doing consistently, keeping it moving and not staying stuck in it. And you have to work on personal development too. That's why I thank Ladies of Justice, that organization, because of the personal development. It helped me to develop my thoughts and think about, okay, what is your next right move?
Hmm.
That's what I'm always saying. What's my next right move? So that afforded me the opportunity to just go for it,
Yeah.
right? Working in corporate America, working at a major company, got up, looked around, looked at everybody, said, I'm not going to come back here ever again, went back to my desk and walked out on faith and
Wow.
opened a cleaning company.
That,
Walked out on faith, didn't know how I was going to do it, what I was going to do, but then that was just God working on me,
yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
I was telling my friends one time, I said, something is going on with me and it's not in human form,
Mm.
right? And that was just God moving me to the direction that I needed to be moved in. And
Yeah.
when I sold the cleaning company, he said, it's time for you to go again,
Wow. Yeah.
right? It's time for you to do something else.
Yeah. I like how you have that tenacity to, sometimes we get stuck in a situation or stuck in a job or stuck in whatever. But when you hear that that's why I love that trademark, keep it moving. Because sometimes we get stuck and when we get stuck, we just kind of like digress or we
Yeah,
really I'll be dying on the inside because there's another next level of greater for you. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. And you call it out. Sometimes people say, I can't stand this job. It's time for me to go. You know
mhm,
what I mean? I don't like my boss. I don't like the money I'm making. You put it in the universe already. But
it's
sometimes God will move you
the truth.
when you're not ready to be moved, like fire you
That's right. I know.
or something dramatic happens
Yeah.
because you already know. I knew, but I just didn't know how.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. You just don't know how and what to do next.
Right.
So that's why you call on your higher power to give you that strength and that word and
Yeah.
sit still and listen.
I know. I love that because sometimes we don't know, but we know we can't stay here. We got to keep it moving, And just making that initial move, he will give the instruction or the next step or the next level. And sometimes it's just maybe the rest to reflect and then move on, but you can't stay where
Absolutely.
you are because we're in essence dying. I see people right
Absolutely.
now, they're living, but yet they're dying. You know what I mean?
You can't stay stuck in the trauma,
No, you
but
really
it's
can't.
it's up to you. And having like mentors and people around me, my circle, I call them a circle of champions, like you,
Like
to
you.
push me forward and that motivation and watching you move. There's certain people that I watch, and when they move, I move.
Yeah, that's,
I move. You can't stay stuck in the trauma.
that's true. Because if we get stuck in the trauma will take over us sometimes.
Oh,
You know, and
absolutely.
extra drama that we don't need, right?
Because you attract it, because you're stuck in it. So you're going to continuously attract the drama
Right.
because you're not ready to move on yet. Keep it moving, as I say.
I love that. What prompts you to come up with that? I know we heard it said, but I love how you coined it and apparels. Share a little bit about that. That keep it moving movement.
Keep it moving, moving. Like I said, turning pain into purpose.
Mhm.
Um, Keeping it, because people do that all the times, and you hear it all the times. I hear everywhere I go. I hear someone saying, "Keep it moving. You just got to keep it moving," and it stuck with me for a while because I say it a lot, and you guys know that I say it a lot. You have to keep it moving, and that's why I came up with the apparel because it's an affirmation. So you can look at it on your shirt. You can look at it on a coffee mug to
Right.
keep it moving. It's just like it's an affirmation,
Yeah.
and it's an
Yeah.
understanding for women and as well as men too. Don't
Right.
get stuck in the trauma.
That's true.
Can't stay there. You got to move. You
And
have to move.
yeah, and keep it's a reminder too that we just gotta, do what you gotta do, but keep it moving. Because like I said, that's getting stuck. It's not a good place to be in, you know.
No, it isn't, and you'll find yourself in that moment of
Mhm.
being stuck,
Yeah.
right? So that's why you take that t-shirt, that sweatshirt. I have a mug. I have journals.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, too, as well. I have a cross bag too, as well. Just the
Okay.
affirmation cards. Keep it moving.
How can people get that? Keep it moving.
You can call me. I'll give my phone number. It's okay. 248-930-0271. I also have a website too that tells my story as well,
Mhm.
along with my book too. Also, it's Bitly, but it's a long one, so I'll give it to you, and maybe you can post it or
Yeah.
I'll post it in the chat.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm
Okay.
posting on social media.
Okay. Thanks.
Looking back on your life, had you stayed in that situation, you don't even know how your kids would respond because it affects the children. It affects your community. It affects people around you. So I'm
Mhm.
so glad, when that cop told you that, and it was like a wake up call. Okay, I'm out of here, never to. What can you share some encouraging words to a woman that may find herself stuck? You go to these nice restaurants, and in the restroom, they have like a little thing, if you're in
Uh,
or I love that, and sometimes people are just so scared. What would you encourage people who may be finding themselves stuck in a situation where they don't think they can get out of?
um, I think more so you have to pray and
Hmm.
you have to ask God to tell you your next movement. I know it's hard while you're sitting there getting beat up.
Yeah,
How can I sit here and ask God to guide me when He's allowing someone to do this to me, someone who I think loves me,
yes.
right?
Hmm.
You still have to sit there and pray. And then you have to work out a master plan and
Hmm.
keep that to yourself
Yes.
on how am I going to escape, right? What is my next right move? Another thing, too, is you have to solely put in your head that I'm enough.
Hmm.
This is not what's supposed to be happening to me because that's what I was saying. This is not me.
Right.
I'm supposed to be that corporate person. I'm supposed to be this is not me. What's going on? But you have to mentally, I mean, literally, mentally give yourself grace
Hmm.
every day. Say, I'm better.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm powerful. I
Mm.
can do this. God has got my back. So you have to, it's a mental thing that you have to do because you're already mentally all over the place, right? Because you're still trying to figure out why is this happening to me.
Mhm.
But you have to give yourself space, right? During that time, like after, I know this gonna sound crazy. After you've been beat up and you're in the mirror looking at yourself with black eyes, lips busted and everything, you literally need to say, I'm better than this.
Mhm.
God, forgive me for anything that I have done. Forgive me for thinking that it's my fault and
Mhm.
it's not. You
Right.
have to literally look in the mirror and look at those scars because those scars are not yours.
Right. Right. Oh my Lord.
They are not yours. They are something that evil that's going on with that other person, and that other person needs help, but you can't be the person to help that person because that person is beating you up, so there's nothing that you could do to
Mm,
help them.
wow.
You have to go. Stop thinking that everything is going to be okay. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do it again.
Yes, because they
So
always,
I don't know.
I'll never do it again. This was my last time, you know. I can remember a girlfriend of mine's, and she said her husband never physically put his hand on her, but he would talk to her such in a way that I wouldn't talk to a dog, you know. And that's that verbal abuse, even, you know,
Mm-hmm,
the replay
mm-hmm.
of your mind. You're not nothing. You can do nothing. I mean, she just almost went crazy until she finally left. It wasn't so he never physically abused me, but he did mentally abuse her with the verbal. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the black eye will heal, you know, and but that verbal is just like you hear a replay, a tape all over again, you know.
Right. And
Yeah.
some people, I've ran into some women that said that too. Oh, he just verbally abused me. He called me a bitch and all that.
Mm,
That's abuse.
that's,
You don't deserve that.
that's
Make
right.
a decision that that's you don't deserve that.
That's right. You're
Keep
better.
it moving.
That's right.
There's somebody
Prove
out there that God has for you.
That's right. And you got to have self esteem about yourself. You know, you don't
Absolutely.
deserve that. Yeah, because that it just grieves your
Absolutely.
heart when you see the women who, you know, love their person, but yet and love shouldn't hurt. I know I've seen that in domestic violence. He said love does not hurt, you know, to that degree,
Yeah.
you know.
Love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't bruise you. Love doesn't beat you up. And
Mm,
you're looking me right in my face and you're continuously hitting me.
yeah,
That's not love.
it's not love. I know.
That's not love.
Not at
So
all.
please understand that that's not love.
What about the shelters that they have for women? Has that helped women to escape, and sometimes it's a temporary thing because they sometimes they go back to the abuser, but
Mhm.
thank God for those shelters that they have for women and children, right?
They have a lot of shelters out here,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of women just don't go
Mm-hmm.
because they still, in their mind, they're thinking that they don't want to go there. They're better than that, especially people who are working in corporate America.
Oh yeah.
That's happening a lot where women are being abused and they won't talk about it. So they wear this mask, right? And that mask is just makeup covering those scars. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they think that I'm better than that. I don't need to go to a shelter. And then you have women that just go to the shelter, right? And
Mm-hmm.
still lost. So sometimes these shelters have to have a lot of different programs in place when they get in there mentally
Yeah.
to show them that, working on personal development, developing their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a lot of shelters out here that they'll go, but it's up to that individual
Right.
to go. And like I said, sometimes they, like you just said, they go back to that abuse because they have not mentally
Yeah.
put themselves in a right perspective, if you will,
Yes.
about living their best life.
I know. You know, I'm looking on Facebook. Some of the people say you can't stay stuck in the trauma. Keep it moving. I love your mantra, Deborah. That's Josephine. And that's so true, so true. And Tanya said, Deborah, thank you for that, you know, because, you know, a lot of times we don't want to talk about it, you know, because there's other people out there maybe suffering. And if she was able to get out of that, you know, trauma and all that drama and now and how successful she is, you know, there's hope yet for me. So it is a courage to step out and speak about it, you know.
Yeah, just like I said, once you have a story, it's no longer your story.
It's true.
You have to share it, and you went through that purpose for a reason to help someone, and that's why I just came out,
Yeah,
like because I was afraid that I was going to hurt other people, but I'm like because I gotta release this from me, like
exactly.
I gotta let that go from me,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
that's not being selfish. Some people were saying, you're just being selfish. No, I'm not being selfish because
Mm,
I can't help my kids or help anyone around me if I don't help myself first, right? So you have to release that. And like I said, your story is no longer your story. It's for you to help someone. That's why you went through that trauma, but you can't stay stuck in the trauma. You got to keep it moving.
yes, yes. And you hear about so many people just stay in that trauma and they live in a miserable life and yet almost wishing to die. I mean, because it's just not a life that they, envision for themselves. So
Absolutely.
they need to keep
Absolutely.
it moving. I love that. Keep it moving. That way, you're not going to stay here. I'm going somewhere, but I'm not staying here because this is
That's,
out here.
yeah,
Move on. Keep it moving. You know,
absolutely.
tell me a little bit more about your book. I mean, you wrote your book and the startup book about people starting a new business and all that. You want to share a little bit about that, Deborah?
Yes. Oh, I wrote a book because I had my cleaning company for 17 years, right? And I scaled it to $1 million.
Uh,
With that, that's another thing. You
yeah,
can't keep your story, right? You got to share it.
right.
So my goal, as you know, I'm always helping people. My goal is to help 1,000 women
Mhm,
um, come out of that stuck
mhm,
mindset, if you will. But the book helps you start your business, right? I go from beginning to the end. How do you start your LLC? How do you get your EIN? What credit card company to use? What insurance company to use? How to interview, right? How to scale your business? How to price?
right.
Because I use examples of my cleaning company, right, for 17 years. And my largest account was Apple.
All right. Yes.
And guess what? That was just God.
It was
I
Scott.
didn't call Apple, they called me.
Look at that.
And
Yes.
that's not bragging, that's
Oh,
just
it's
showing you
the
that,
good.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And
once you go through that trauma, doors will open for you. Once you realize that God has a purpose for you, and when you find your purpose,
mhm.
the doors just keep opening.
Right. And talking
So
about your cleaning company, during the COVID, I was really, everything was shut down, how you reached out to seniors. That really blessed me. And you want to share a little bit about that? I thought that was awesome, Deborah. Oh my God.
yes, during COVID, we stayed open. That was the most loneliest part ever. But that's when my business escalated because we stayed open and we were going in different houses, spraying down. When I say spraying down, I invested in these machines that could get into places, cracks in places where you can't clean to
Mhm.
get some of the germs out so you won't catch COVID. So we were going in houses, spraying down, going into business, spraying down. And I thank my employees too, because they stuck by me. Meanwhile, people dying around you, people calling you and asking you, certain places I couldn't go because it was highly infested, not highly infested, but
Right.
highly contaminated, right? So we were suited up with our all our gear on going out there. And
Yeah.
yeah, we're helping seniors too. And also during that time, well, before that,
Mhm.
we were cleaning for cancer patients for free.
Right. I remember. Oh, that's what it was. Yes.
Cleaning for Cancer Patients for Free. It's an organization called Cleaning for a Reason. And
Yeah.
what they do is, and you guys need to check that out too, for individuals that are suffering, well, that have cancer,
Mhm.
you can get your house cleaned for free. Two cleanings, and it's a company called Cleaning for a Reason,
Mhm.
right? You look it on the internet, they're nationally.
Okay.
And
Yes.
this is what they do. They call cleaning companies and ask cleaning companies to contribute their time and service
Uh-huh.
for free to clean for cancer patients. So I did that for like 15 years.
Wow. Look at that. You
15 years.
other words, when you do it into the least of them, you do it unto me. So he rewarded you for your faith, for helping people who couldn't. So that's
Yeah, you have to give back. When the
come.
owner
Yeah.
give back.
I know. That's great. I could talk to you all day. I mean, is there anything that you would like to share with men and women and who has gone through something, maybe not domestic violence, but abuse in some other way, how they can just keep it moving and reach for those stars and reach for those dreams. It's never too late. As long as you have breath in your body, you still have an opportunity to get to that next level, right? Do you?
Um,
Hmm.
um, like I just said, it's always you don't have to stay stuck in a trauma. It's a decision.
Hmm.
Sometimes, and I tell people when I'm talking to people, when I give you information and you see that all I do, and I do that, I post it in social media and I tell all my friends and G100 women as well, like everything that I do to let you know you could do it too. And once I give you that information and you don't take heed of it, not to say that I'm all this and that, but I'm giving you tools, then if you don't take the information, then you're just making an excuse.
Hmm. Oh, yes, I hear you.
right?
Right.
So my thing is because there's a lot of opportunities on. Yes, the world is going crazy, things is going haywire,
Uh,
but that doesn't mean that you stop,
that's right. I,
right? You keep it moving.
I
You
know.
keep it moving. You fulfill your purpose and you find out what your purpose is. With me, when I talk about business, and I can't turn it off.
I know. I
I
love.
can't turn it off. And I try so hard in helping people. I even ask God sometimes, okay, God, I don't have to help everybody. Please show me. But I can't turn it off when it comes to business. So you have to find your purpose.
Yeah.
And you know your purpose because it's something that you can, when you talk about it, like you see me, you
Uh,
get excited.
I know.
You get excited, right? You feel that in your gut. And that's God telling you that's your purpose. And
Mhm.
listen to that voice from your higher power.
That's right.
Because he's always speaking to you. It's just sometimes you just don't sit still to take heed of what he's telling you to do.
Right.
Right?
And
But
they keep it moving. Some, well, I can't run, crawl until you're able to walk, and then walk until you're able to run. Like you said, no more excuses. Sometimes you have to crawl to that next thing, and then you're able to, okay, I'm standing up now. I made a little progress, because it's not going to be easy. Life is not easy. Whether, you know what I'm saying? Never has been.
keep
But
it
what you said, keep it moving if you have to
keep
crawl.
it moving. And owning a business, I don't tell anybody that it's easy.
Oh, I know, right?
People need to stop saying that it's easy when you're running a business. It's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy, but it's rewarding.
It is, yeah. It's not
It's
for the faint at
rewarding.
heart. If you're gonna collapse or faint with that first tragedy, you're in the wrong business, in the wrong lane. Get over here to the other lane where and it's true, right?
Right. Like with Ladies of Justice, where you have access to an attorney.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind that that's something that we need. And if I may share about
Yes,
that a little
please. I was
bit.
gonna ask you about that. Yes, please do. No, that's important.
Yes, Ladies of Justice, where you have access to an attorney to get your power, your will, and your power of attorney done,
Mhm.
even if you have a traffic ticket, DUI, getting a divorce. Because back in the day, we couldn't afford an attorney, right?
Right.
Remember, we didn't know anything about it because they were charging $300 an hour, and that was not in our bank account.
I know.
Now we're breaking the paradigm shift of having access to an attorney. So
Yes.
that's like I love to do that too, and helping our seniors
Yeah.
with my nonprofit organization, Exclusive Elderly Resource Center. What I provide is vendor services for the seniors. Say,
Mm.
for example, if you need medical equipment, will and power of attorney, you need home health care, you need a painter, you need a mover, you need your documents reviewed, you need me to send documents to different locations. I created a program called Kava where I can in-house their documents and say, for example, if the mortgage company or the bank or someone needed some information from them, I
Mm.
can send it out to them because they tell the seniors to go home and get on the computer and fill out the paperwork and fill out the applications. And
That's not gonna happen. You're right.
uh, so that's what we do as well. I'm just giving you a whole scenario of how my businesses are in alignment with still helping people,
Yes, yes.
right?
Powerful. Yes. Deborah, I tell you, that is so wonderful because people need to know that there's help out there if you just seek out. So they seek out Deborah Crowley and the Women of Justice. I mean, I want to talk about that a little bit more, you know,
Okay.
especially as we're living longer and our health, we're more healthier. Some are doing things to keep the health because your health is your wealth. How a person make sure that their long time saving has been designated to who they want to designate it to. I mean, well, can that woman of justice help them in that kind of arena in that area
Yeah.
too? Okay.
Yes, you get your power of attorney, you get all your documents that you need. It's
Mhm.
like getting your house in order. Someone was saying, her name was Chris Dunn. She's always talking about
I, I
getting your house. in order, right?
Yes.
So you got to get your house in order, your paperwork and your documents, because people need to know
Mhm.
what to do. Let me give you an example with my mom when she passed away, and that's why I opened up the Elderly Resource Center. I
Mhm.
had no idea. She's in New Jersey. I'm here in Michigan. I'm
Right.
like, okay, what do I do?
Right.
I
Right.
need to find her a place. I need a home health care. Do
Yeah.
she need? I need a new doctor. It was so much, and I said, you know what? I will never, ever, ever have a caregiver or a senior worry about what to do. That's why it's a resource center
Yeah.
because it was traumatic going back and forth to New Jersey trying to figure it out while running my cleaning company,
Right.
right?
Wow.
So that
Mm.
strength comes from making sure you have your house in order. My mom had her will, she had her power of attorney, she had all that in order. But when she passed away, she still asked me, right? The doctors was working on her,
Mhm.
and you know, your body shuts down, but your brain is still active, right? She
Yeah.
looked at me because they wanted to take the what do you call it the
Yeah.
life support thing off of her, right?
Okay.
And she looked at me and said, Debbie, what do you think I should do? Like that,
I
face to
know,
face.
right? I know. Oh, Deborah. So,
That's why you have your documentation because you got to take it off of you.
yes.
You
Wow.
got to have, she had everything in order.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why you have to have that. Don't leave it up for your family member to make a decision.
I know. Because they'll have that guilt or whatever. What if, should have, could have,
Guilt.
later. Yeah. So take care of the business while we on this side of heaven, if you will, you know.
Right. Right.
Before
And
you,
yeah, I'm always busy, right? I created a book where when you have a senior on
uh-huh.
what to do,
Okay.
like who to call, what
Right.
to do, what type of medical equipment, what type of bed
Mhm.
they may need, who to do, what home care, uh,
Wow.
whatever they need to bring that person home. You know me, I can't stop, right? See,
I
I
know.
tell you,
I know. Which is a good thing. I mean, how
yeah,
can people get that book, Deborah? I mean, is it a fee for that? Or how do you get that?
yeah, I have it. I just did it. It's not a book. I just made a little binder
Okay.
because for
Yes.
my I've been hearing a lot of stories. It's
Uh,
just how to prepare. You just call me.
okay.
I only charge like $10 for this. It's
Yeah.
so much information in here on everything, what to do, how to take care of them. I even have a dictionary of the different verbiage that they utilize because sometimes when you go in the hospital and you're advocating
Right.
for your parents,
Uh-huh.
like say? What did you talk?
I
What does it
mean, I know, right?
so I have that information too as well. It has so much information in here for taking care of your family member.
Yeah, because my sister-in-law, my husband' oldest sister, we're going through something similar. She's in I guess a rehab center right now slash nursing
Okay.
home, and they said she's in palliative care, and it's another word that I had to look up, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So I know I need to get a copy of that book for our family.
Okay.
You
And it'll tell you what to do. Like and it'll have a checklist to make sure
know,
you're following everything, like
uh,
what you need to do. So
yeah,
it's a good tool. And that's a hard decision.
it is.
Should I keep my mother in that senior home, put her in a senior home, or should I bring her back home?
Mm, yeah, that's tough. That
That
is,
hurts. That's tough.
yeah,
But
it
she got
does.
to make the right decision because sometimes you can't take care of them.
It's
They
true.
may need to be in a facility.
4 hour care. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And so
But anyway, that's a whole nother story.
I know, right? I know that's another story. You need to come on and share that with us. And, her
Right.
son is very active in her life, but and he may even need that information to just to kind of know, what to do, what not to do, and ask questions. Because sometimes these doctors say things and they think we know it, and they'll break it down.
You become a doctor and a nurse.
I
That's what I
know, right?
found
You do.
with my mom. I'm like, what is this machine for? Oh no, her level is high. What's going on? Her numbers are high. Yes, you become a doctor and a nurse.
Wow. We want to make sure our loved ones are taken care of, even in their,
Yeah.
you know, um, elder years and before they, leave us here on this earth. I know it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So, Deborah, I tell you, I just love you, love you, love you. I tell you, I got to get those. It's like that cup, keep it moving cup. All right. I love it. Got your tea bag in there, and I'm a coffee drinker. Yes. So again, I know you said you're going to give your number and your website. You put it in the chat so I can publicize if you don't mind to put it
Okay.
on the because people need to know how they can get help for their loved ones, how they can help their seniors. And so a resource that you have available for them is going to help them greatly. And that's why I thank God for your faithfulness, for your love for seniors. I can remember when I was younger, I didn't used to always like seniors. Here I am a senior now, but they used to be so cantankerous. I had an aunt that was just so cantankerous and mean. It's like, don't get mad at the young folks when you're getting older. Now I'm at that stage. But I didn't understand, some of the things that they go through, as a
Yeah.
their health wise and financial wise. I mean, so I got a better
So
understanding.
much. It's so much that they go through, so much that you go through.
Yeah.
Because that's why I started EERC too, my the elderly program, because the
Mm.
caregivers go through a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm just trying to take all that off of them. So because they work and they have their own family, so it's hard for them to maneuver around all that, taking care of their parents. And but you have to do it. But that's where we come in to take it off of you,
Mm.
right? You could go ahead and work and you can show her love. Let us connect you to what you need.
Yes, yes. Doing that resource, do you have something? My girlfriend was saying she wanted to open up an adult daycare center. Are you seeing more of those being open for seniors? The children have to work, or the adult children have to work. Can you share a little bit about that if you know anything
You
about that?
know, you here I go
I know.
because I wanted to open one.
I love it, Deborah.
I wanted to open one. That's the best thing you could do because then that alleviates time
Hmm.
uh, for the caregiver to do what they need to do, right? While they're in the daycare center, they could, and they're still getting cognitive,
Yes.
um, work on them, and
Mhm.
still there, someone's taking care of them, and they're moving,
Yes. Yes.
right? Because you can't, because sometimes seniors get stuck and they don't want to leave their house. Like my mom, she never wanted to leave her house. But
Mm.
when you're taking them to that adult daycare center, you're getting them active. You're moving those bones. You're doing something with them mentally too, as well. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Tell her to move forward with it. Tell
Okay.
her to get my book.
I will. Yeah, she needs that book. I'm telling you. I said, I never heard of that. So I said, Deborah would know. But it makes sense though. It does. It keeps the
Yeah,
you're moving, active, and so like I said,
yeah,
living longer. And so we want to make sure that they're healthy, and right up until the end.
yeah, because you know what's going on. And this is, I'm just saying what I've been hearing, how they're
Mm.
cutting these fundings and different things like that. So we're gonna, and if I could may share, we need to stick together,
Mm-hmm.
open up these businesses, right? So
Yeah,
we can help each other. Open up that adult daycare center, right?
yeah,
Do that, get that done, so we can help each other.
yes. So important. So important.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, Deborah. I mean, I'm gonna let you close with some encouraging words. I know you've done it a couple times, but tell them also how they can reach out to you. If you got social media, how they can reach out to you, and then close it out with some encouraging words, like you always do. I love you for that.
You know me. And guys, just make sure my phone number, I put it out there. I know I shouldn't have, but I did 248-930-0271. I'm on social media, my Facebook page. Please go ahead and connect with me, Deborah Crowley, so you can see all the things that I've done, all the things that I've done to encourage. It's not bragging, it's just encouraging you to do what you need to do as well. Also, my book, make sure you get my book so I can help you to grow your business. I also consult too as well. So make sure you get my book. You can call me or text me or go on my inbox me or message me to tell me that you want your book.
Yeah.
Or even my designs too. Like I said, I'll put my website out there for you as well. And please understand, I'm here to help. There's, like I said, no bragging, no nothing. I do all this to provide tools for you to
Mhm.
utilize to help you to be successful in your life and stop staying stuck. Come out of that survival mode and turn it into success. Because guess what? No one's talking about making six figures anymore. They're talking about making millions and billions,
All right.
right?
I heard that. Yes. Love
No
that.
one's talking about that. And so, in which way the way things are going now, you're going to need money in your bank account.
That's right.
or you're going to need that money to put under your bed or something like we used to do back in the day.
I know,
So,
right?
so you're going to need money. A lot of people say, you always talk about money. Yeah, I talk about money because it's what I can do with it. I can go to the doctor. If they don't accept my insurance, I
Mhm.
can pay to get me some care, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, because I'll just go on about that.
You're self-insured. I know. Come on, girl. I
Like I said,
yeah.
don't have a seat at the table. Own your table and your chair.
Oh, yes, yes. I love that. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. I know you've encouraged, inspired, and gave so much wisdom today on this podcast, and I thank you for that. And who would have thought that you were a victim, but now you're victorious, and just continue to reach higher heights and keep it moving. Love you, my sis.
I
Thank you
love you too. Thank you.
now.
Thank you.
Now,
Bye bye.
bye for now.